Hello, sweet friend. My name is Micah, and in this video, I would like to have a little chat with you about how my journals are going so far in 2025. We've just crossed into February, so it's been a little bit over a month with these notebooks, and so I thought it would be kind of fun to chat with you about how things are going and share some pages with you, because it's always fun to see journal pages, isn't it? And speaking of journal pages, I've just done a full flip of my January pages in my Hobonichi cousin. So you can take a look at that. And so I'm gonna put this aside for now because yeah, that's going great, and you can watch the full flip through if you're interested in that. In this video, I want to focus on the other journals, the side projects, and see how that's working out. Yeah, so I hope that is interesting to you. And let's just start at the top. This is my beautiful camel leather TN. It's starting to get shiny, which is very exciting. And just recently, my husband lost this tag from one of his t-shirts. It has this pierced heart. And so I'm kind of debating of putting this on, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to leave it just pure leather or if I want to start adding patches and things like that and customizing it in that way. Yeah, still debating on that, but let's get to the inside, which might be more interesting. And this is what I'm referring to as my artist companion. If you're new here, I'm an illustrator, and I thought it would be fun to have a notebook and a place to gather things that inspire my work. Just visual references, but also journal about artists that I find inspiring or just topics that seem to influence my work. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. This whole notebook is mostly inspired actually by having replied to a journal prompt that I got from Erin Ware's printables on her Patreon. It's called The Thread, and so the prompt invited you to reflect on things, topics, interests that seem to pop up often throughout your life. And so I did that with sort of how it relates to my work as an illustrator and found this hugely beneficial. I mean, some of the things I already knew about, that I've always been drawn to miniatures, so dolls, doll houses, those kinds of things, and I find that very cute. And then it was interesting to see how that relates to, for example, my interest in interior design and building a home for yourself, and how much I love illustrating little homey scenes and those kinds of things. So yeah, I wrote that out, and this is, I think, the second or third copy actually of the same journal entry in different notebooks, but I wanted to be in here because that's mainly sort of the kinds of things that I want to explore in this journal. So for example here, this is a spread, I think I've shown this before, where I just printed out some images from one of my Pinterest boards and reflected on how much I feel drawn to, I'm not fully in frame, I'm sorry. How I feel drawn to this retro aesthetic. Like, looking at these pictures just make me so happy. That is exactly the kind of things that I find inexplicably beautiful. I don't know. Really interesting, and just makes me happy. Then I did a page about my comfort colors and why I think I feel so drawn to these colors in particular. Yeah, I just, again, feel like they're so retro. They have a sort of lived-in quality about them. So I think these are colors that you would find on items like books or furniture or keepsakes that you find in an attic. And I find that very charming. So yeah, Again, a visual exploration. This is more text-based, just thinking about what makes an illustration whimsical, just different characteristics. So, like, for example, playful subject matter or vivid colors, surrealism, exaggeration, all those kinds of things. And then I have this cute little printout from some illustrations by Hiroko Kubota, because I think their work is, exemplifies a lot of these things that I journaled about. And a lot of you might be familiar with their work from the Hobonichi collaborations. So, yeah, really, really fun. And then here, again, also more text-based. These are excerpts from an essay by someone called Frank Cottrell Boyce about Tove Jansson, and what he wrote about what he enjoys so much about Tove's storytelling really resonated with me in terms of what I love about Tove's storytelling, but also things that I would hope to see in my work. Really fascinating, and just a helpful reflection. It just crystallizes, I think crystallizing is a good word, or puts into focus certain things that I think I know about myself and other people's work, or just illustration in general. But it's one of those things with any journal. It just helps you be more conscious of certain things. This was also very interesting. I love anthropomorphic characters, and so the other day I was just like, I wonder what the art history of anthropomorphism is. And so I did a little research and just wrote on about some of the things that I found most fascinating. I don't know if you can see this, by the way, is a fascinating object in and of itself, because this is a ivory statue called Löwenmensch, or Lion Man, which was found in Germany, and carbon dating puts it at about 40,000 years old, which is just incredible to me. But yeah, just reflecting on like how potentially anthropomorphism has changed and how it expresses our human view on our position in the natural world, or how we relate to the natural world and animals. So yeah, just really, really fun. So it is hopefully going to be a mix of more text-based things, but then also exploring visual aspects and having an analog place where I can put vision boards or just things that I like, something to open up to if I'm feeling uninspired, rather than having something digital like Pinterest. I can maybe turn to this, which is more curated and more me. So this is going really, really well. I'm enjoying this quite a bit, and so that's very fun. And then we get to this notebook. This is a little bit more loose in terms of the use. I always like to have one notebook as sort of like a catch-all notebook, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And this is a Midori Codex, so this has 400 blank pages, and I had that cut down to an A5 Slim by Staples, I think. And it's such a fun size. This is A5 Slim is what the Moleskine books come in, and it's especially great for lists, which I'm thinking I'm going to do a lot of in this book, because it's the lists on an A5 page, they always look so lost, don't they? Because they're rather skinny, and then with an A5 page, I don't know. So I started out by writing out a TBR list, which I still can add to throughout the year, but I find that very useful. And though I'm not gonna decorate every page, I think just because it was the first page and it's about books, I felt really tempted. Oh, I'm doing it again, don't I? Felt really tempted to decorate these pages. So yeah, really cute. Then here I was trying out some watercolor mixes, figuring out how to actually mix those comfort colors with my set of watercolors. So yeah, just a swatch page, more swatches this time. These are ink colors, fountain pen ink colors, some of which I swapped with Chris from L&M, are really fun. And this is what I mean, you know, the list looks pretty nice. It fills out the page pretty nicely. And then here I just took notes on a chapter from The Notebook, A History of Thinking on Paper by Roland Allen, which is fantastic. If you are into learning about the history of notebooks and how it has influenced humans in their development, yeah, highly recommend. And it's written in a way that is very digestible, so not a dry history lesson. But yeah, these are notes on the development of the sketchbook and how it influenced realism. Really fun. Just, yeah, ideas for YouTube videos. And then here I did another ink swap, this time with Jana, and she kindly sent me some Birmingham Penco inks, which you can't buy ink samples of. So yeah, she kindly sent those to me. And she had actually developed a mixing diagram of, yeah, some really interesting colors you can mix with the colors that she sent me. I actually think her mixes are almost more interesting than the actual ink colors. So yeah, put that in. And then here I started setting up a goal bingo. I've seen a couple people do this, but most specifically I saw Erin Ware had made one of these. And I decided to do it about creative goals that are fun, like just fun little projects I want to do this year, because I often neglect those, doing creative things for fun. And we have a variety of things in here so far. For example, create a small diorama, but also cook a Thai dish or cook a Japanese dish. Last year I started sewing a doll dress, which I want to finish sewing. You know, all kinds of different things. And as you can see, I still have to find some ideas, but I might also repeat certain things. So for example, I could put another, sewing another doll dress or something like that in here. And I do want to come back in here and, yeah, write about these goals. So this is still a work in progress. Here I was just trying out a layout. I don't even think you can see that. So if you would put your date up here and have some lines to write here and then decorate this space, I just wanted to see what that would look like on an A5 flip slim page. And then I skipped a page. Here I did just some drawings of vintage lambs, kind of fun. Yeah, just going in directly with ink, just warming up, training eye-hand coordination, those kinds of things. And then skipped a page again, and then these are fun. So February 1st is always the hourly comic day, where cartoonists or illustrators or anyone who really wants to participate chronicles their day from waking up to going back to bed, and doing an hourly comic or an hourly drawing of what you're up to. And so I did that in this book here, and I think, yeah, it was really fun, and I think the drawings turned out quite charming with just the black line and a spot color, something super simple. Spoiler alert, I only made it until 4:28 in the afternoon. Afterwards I was so tired and I don't know, just had to wind down, but I still really love seeing what I did that day, and seeing these drawings, and I enjoyed the process so much that the following day I did the same thing, not in an hourly fashion, but just capturing me having a FaceTime call with my sister and saying hello to my niece, who showed me all of her stuffed animals, which was adorable. And I learned how to fill up the tires with air on our car. So this is a air pressure gauge that I drew out there. So yeah, I enjoyed this so much, and I think the size, again, is great for this kind of thing, that I'm slightly tempted to have a place to keep doing this, not on a daily basis, because that's probably way too much combined with an A5 cousin. And so now I'm debating whether or not I want to just cut this this Midori Codex in half. I already found the middle of it, because already I'm kind of a little tired of how uneven it is right here at the beginning, so that I could have one separate book for whenever I want to do these kinds of drawings, and then have the other book as the notebook that this was supposed to be, where I can just do random swatches and ideas and notes and things like that. Or if I just don't care, and just whenever I do want to do these, I just have them in with the other notebook scribbles. But somehow that feels... I think at the end of the year, I would want to be able to flip through this without having to skip over random notes about what YouTube video I want to do that that week. So yeah, I could also cut these pages out and then move them to the half, and start doing it in the back, and then have the front the notebook, and then I would be able to decide whether or not to cut the notebook in half at a later date. So yeah, because I'm really careful this year about the number of journals that I keep up with. I just last year jumped around so much and have so many half-filled notebooks that I really would like a couple finished books. So yeah, what do you think? What should I do? Should I cut this in half, make it easier to carry too, and have the drawings by themselves? Yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you have thoughts on that. And then we have this beautiful notebook. And then this is actually kind of a cousin or sibling to my artist companion, because this is my notebook on storytelling. So it's sort of a notebook about things that I read about storytelling, but it also is maybe a commonplace book, but specifically about storytelling. I never quite know how to categorize that, and it doesn't really matter, I don't think. So I love learning about storytelling and researching how to write stories and why stories are important. And so I haven't actually done much in January, or any new pages, I think, in January, but I don't think I've featured this book very heavily on the channel anyway, so I figured might as well flip through it to give you an idea of what's going on here. So for example, this spread, here's a quote by Ursula K. Le Guin, and I had some thoughts on that, so I journaled in the back here and left some space, because I kind of think I might want to come back to this and maybe even turn this into a mini essay. That would be kind of fun. But then here is more like notes. So this is notes on the story structure that I copied, notes on how to develop a lie for your main character. I'm not going to go into depth all of this if you're not into writing, but yeah, how to come up with clues and red herrings. This is again another page where I took a quote and had myself respond to it. I have this habit of scooching down my notebooks this time around, huh? Yeah, and just more notes from books, this time mastering suspense, structure, and plot. So yeah, all very nuts and bolts kinds of things. I am considering also keeping book notes in this, but I'm still debating on that because right now this is such a nice repository of helpful information or things I want to come back to. And I don't know if my thoughts on books will be that. So I'm still debating on that, but I think I will. I think I will put my book notes in here whenever I feel like the notes are something that I want to keep. And then in the back section here, I've shown this before, is an actual commonplace section. And what I mean by that is that historically where the sort of commonplace book started was that you had headings at the top of the pages about a topic, and then you would collect quotes that related to that topic. And I thought that was kind of a neat way of developing not only a repository of quotes that you can use, but also help you develop your own ideas if you can see other people, how they define or what they think about a topic. So yeah, I so far have abstraction, anthropomorphism, enchantment, fairy tales, power of story, theme, and wholesomeness. So definitely topics that I find interesting. It's a very personal selection of topics. But yeah, this is obviously a lot of thinking, reading, so I'm not getting to this on a daily basis, but I still love it. The only thing I have to figure out, I had glued on this cream paper over top of, this is a Hobonichi notebook, plain notebook, so they usually have this orange color, and the glue wasn't the best, and so it has buckles in the paper, which makes it seem not so nice, like it's not even nice to touch. I don't like that feeling. So, but I love her so much on there, the sticker. So I don't know, not quite sure what to do there, how to fix that, or if I take this off, and if I can, I could cut her out and do something different. But that's something to figure out. And so then here I just keep some page flags when I'm reading and want to find the quotes later on to add to this book. And then I still have an old, this book started in here, and then I didn't like the TN format for it because it doesn't stay open. So if I want to, for example, reference story structure, this is nice because I can just, have it laying on my desk for reference. So there's still some things in here that I need to move over into here. So I'm keeping that in this handy little pocket together. Yeah, still love this cover. It's so beautiful and soft. And yeah, so that is how things are going. Again, I'm trying this year to be very mindful of scope creep, and I do want to have 1 or 2 finished notebooks this year, and so that's why I'm focusing just on these. And of course the storytelling notebook, that's a project for years to come, I think. I don't think I'm gonna finish that notebook this year, but yeah, that's that. If you'd like, let me know how your journaling is going so far. Have you had to switch notebooks yet and change something out, or did something evolve over the month, like I've experienced with this one, where I might be cutting it in half and using it differently to what I thought I would. I would love to know that, and always love chatting with you in the comments. But yeah, that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Until next time, happy journaling.